We are setting up the next solo game, and the next solo game picked by my son is the Witch, which is my middle son's favorite character. Um, so let's get a board set up first, and then we'll talk about the Witch and her particular situation. I don't like this board. I can tell you already. Just quick glance, and I'm like, I hate this board. Um, this one's not bad since it dumps into the cliff. Right? The Evil Valley dumps into the cliff, and the deep woods and the crag. You got all kinds of stuff here. Over here, though, you're right into a cave. Here, the only place you have to go is the mountain, which is fine. This one, though, is the mountain and the ledges. Um, and then this one is there's just too much badness here. Let's retry this and see sort of what it gives us this next time. Again, not a big fan all of a sudden. Um, I think these two valleys are okay. I don't like this one because I don't like dumping straight into the caves on most characters, and I don't like dumping straight into the cavern. So again, I'm going to dump this one. Oh, we got straight to the caves. Also rough. We're in the mountains here and the deep woods. So okay. Um, this one's into the bottom of the lead. This one is mostly into the borderlands. So, I mean, you're going to have that a little bit. And this one goes into the ruin and the ledges. I think this is, of them, the best so far. I think the only thing that I'm a little not thrilled about is if you start, like, everything's cut off effectively by the high pass. So if you start in the south here, you are guaranteed to have to walk through the high pass. If you start in the north and you need to get down here, you're guaranteed to go through the high pass. Now, the witch doesn't care as much. For one thing, she can enchant, of course, here, and that's going to give her. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a long haul, right? She can do the double gate, right? She goes 5 to 4 and then 4 to 2. So she can totally double this up and then get around the high pass. The other thing the witch can do potentially is fly, but that's definitely a spell choice that she's gonna have to take. And um so the question is, do we take this? Well, if you end up see did I not yawn instantly? I am 3 minutes 20 in. Okay, there you go. There's a new game. We will time the yawn, the first yawn. Um, so when I was a young man with children, none of my kids slept very well, so um they all would need rocked and got in the middle of the night and right as babies and so on. And so I'd put something like Thomas the Tank Engine or something on, right? And then rock them to sleep. But then I would fall to sleep. So now, even into my older age here, all it takes is that gentle British accent or Australian even, and I'll be right out of. You want to put me out? Put me in front of an Australian rules football game, and I'll be like, great sport. It's just the accents knock me right out. Presumably I have some conditioning sitting down at this chair too. Do we take this layout knowing that the high pass is sort of like this is the choke point right here, and knowing that the witch can sort of get around the choke point. What do you have? So you have 3 down below. So even if you start 1 or down here in these 2 valleys, you have 3 of these. If you start up here, you're in better shape. You have 3 of these easy and then 3 of the rougher ones. I mean, we could click and keep going for a better map. But I don't dislike this map. It does mean that the witch is going to have to really, really, really focus on her black magic chits. And she doesn't have 1,000 of them. I say, what do you got there? You got 3 of them, effectively. So you're going to have to really, really marshal those if you're going to have, if you're going to be focused on broomstick, maybe absorb. All right, I say we take it and see how we do on this map. So we're going to let setup go here. In the meantime, we're going to start dragging out all our crap. So there's our 3. Setup is paused. Sure, resume setup. Go ahead and place the dwellings. And I will move them. The rogues are down there. So, there you go. So those are our starting dwelling locations. Let's pull the witch. And the witch starts at the end, pretty much. So we know where she's starting. Witch and familiar start at the end, so we'll put her here. So she is down here. So she has access to the mountain, the crag, and the deep woods. Everything else she's going to have to work for. What else do we got? Well, we got spells to pick. We have type 2, type 5, and type 8. So a pretty interesting set. And actually, before I do this, let's take a look. So I think the witch certainly is not bad. She has a lot of good stuff going for her. The one thing I do not love about the witch is I do not love how many type 2 she ends up with. Just because. But that's gray magic, so that's all right. So, I mean, obviously, Remedy, super useful for the witch. If she's going to get her 2 points in spells, I don't think that's a bad choice. So I say Remedy probably is a winner. And then, man, I hate to say it, I think Broomstick and Absorb Essence. I think we're going to go with a fairly standard witch layout here. So Remedy. Oh man, I cannot quite. There we go. That took me way too long. There should be some kind of test there. Remedy, Absorb Essence, and Broomstick. So the idea would be, and let's take a look at this. I think she flips 2. She uses this to enchant, right? Oops, hold on. I mean, you might as well flip the slow ones. Okay, this is I mean, what I don't like is we put a so the problem with this layout is we put a lot of pressure on our black chits, right? That's the gig. We are going to put a lot of pressure on our black spellcasting. So, on the other hand, the witch, she's a spry old bird. There, she has a fight L3, which means she can do medium damage at a 3, but that's not. But she has a move L3, which does let her flee from a lot of crap. Like there's no doubt about it. She can flee from a lot of stuff. Now her black magic casting not super fast, but this 4 time is going to be enough for most of the things she's going to try to absorb, minus the tremendous troll. She needs to be hidden for that troll. So but I think that's it. I think that's our setup. I think we're going to go traditional. We're going to see how successful she is. We are going to definitely try to get 3 spells for 2 points, and we're definitely going to try to get probably at least a prowess or 2. And in the meantime, we got to use the familiar to good effect. And the familiar can, of course, peer, right? So the familiar can follow and spy, move, follow, and peer activities. Done. So, now don't get me wrong. Someone is calling me. Let me just answer real quick. All right. So we really need to use this peer. We need to make sure that that thing is moving and it is finding stuff for us. And what we're trying to do is find, the ultimate spots for pretty much, I mean, ideally, the horde. We are definitely trying to find our tremendous flying dragon. That's sort of the alpha, the S tier absorb, right? We'll take a lot of the other crap. We'll take a tremendous troll if need be. Just because that protects us from most of the creatures in the game. It just doesn't kill a lot of stuff. Only because it can't undercut most things we want to undercut. So, like little things like bats and stuff can't hurt us, but we can't get to them either. And we don't want to burn so many black chits trying to kill like one bat. So we're gonna go and we're gonna see what we can absorb. We're gonna use broomstick to get around the map. It's definitely a little bit of a. It's definitely a little bit of a clunky. Definitely a little bit of a clunky setup on her black chits, but I think we're gonna roll with that. So, man, strangely enough, that's it. Now we do need to get dice out and everything else. So the last thing we're gonna do, I need 2 dice here always. I need 2 dice over here again. Now the nice thing is on the 7th day, if we're rolling 2 monster rolls, you would think generally it's a bad thing. It's a good thing for an absorb build because you get more of a chance of getting the thing that you need to get when you need to get it. Why did I have a D4 out? Wrong game, pal. We're not playing that game right now. I'll get rid of that. But let me increase the size of these bad boys. Okay. And also these, my hide dice. And let's get our events and our quests. So what we're hoping is, we're hoping she can score some easy points, and we're hoping she gets a great absorb. And what do we got? Explore the caves. Natives, so we can get a native group, and Dragon Slayer. Okay. Let's take a quick look at that. Dragon Slayer, kill a dragon for 1 VP and a dragon tooth. I mean, yeah. You know what? I'm just not sure I'm buying it. And then explore the caves. She will get a lantern. It's 2 VP and a lantern, but that's a lot of doing. Natives arrive, I think I'm going to take. And the reason is, I mean, she is allied to the company, friendly with the Bash cars. But I think I'm going to drop the other two for now. And we're going to use our free draw here at the beginning. So she has a dig in the ruins and find armor and roar. I don't know that that's much better. A dig in the ruins and find armor and roar. So, not great. Not great. Let's put the dig somewhere. Not a great redraw. So we get a 1. So our dig, and we're going to need this no matter what. We don't have a dig site, do we? No, because you know. Because you know. So we're going to get a peace pack here. And what better to represent an archaeological dig than a crown? So there you go. The crown will be the dig. So the dig in the ruins, 1. Done. There you go. So we've got that. That's done. And now we need the events. And we get 3 of these bad boys as well. Pretty much shuffled to death, these index cards. Let's draw them. And we're going to get the Dead Adventurer, the Young Knight, and a Goblin Bounty. Okay, so Young Knight. We have a Dead Adventurer, which we're just going to put on the board. I don't even need to put it on this card. And a Goblin Bounty. The Young Knight's the only one we need to really worry about in terms of, well, in the Dead Adventurer, of course. Let me do that. So Dead Adventurer. Let's get the Young Knight. And I believe we have to put, so the Dead Adventure is just anywhere, right? Any one of the 6 tiles. The Young Knight, random hex and clearing. So same thing. So both these guys go to a random spot. 5, 3. So Crag 3. Dead Adventure is right there. The Young Knight is 7, 5. So high pass 5. Not bad. Now the Young Knight will attack the witch. He thinks she is not very awesome. So he's gonna fight her. So that's a question of can she take him out? And that's gonna depend on who she has with her, if anyone. So I think that is it. I think we are officially set up. That was a quick, for a spellcaster, that's a quick setup. I'm like, we're taking out. Remedy also allows, the nice thing about Remedy is it also allows us to break an absorb. So we there's a dual purpose to it. And I think, so if we look at our layout here, I think the assumption we make is that we are going to go into the mountains, of course. But we're going to go this way first, and then this guy's going to book it. Like the familiar's just going to tear off the other direction, and he's going to head out this way and try to just clear all of this. We're going to flip every one of these damn things and sort of clear it out. And I'll leave them flipped because, it's only we're only one character here, and we've seen them, so we would write them down if we see the chits. And can we see chits with the let's see what our well, let's get our camera set up too here. We have only a couple more. I'll only take a couple more minutes, no worries. So there's one. Let's look at peer. Clues. Look at the map chits. Done. So I think we're gonna use the familiar to its fullest and get that done. So I mean we'll be starting the witch here on the next video. So this is an easy one. Nice easy start. We have an absorb build on the witch. We'll call this the flying tremendous troll build. So that's it. Let's the only problem I see with this alone is you have a lot easier time with players on the board opening up monsters for you, and you go, oh, well, such and such started way up here and he popped a dragon. I think I'll fly over there. So you have a lot easier time getting to places. We are going to absolutely rely on turning chits over and then hovering around places where we think a tremendous dragon or a tremendous troll can pop. That's what we're going to do. So that's it. That is our setup. We will start the game, and I will see you then.